The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Calvin Alexander.
Hey Cowboy fans, today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters most.
Welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. As always, here I am your host, now with the co-host, Trey Florence.
Hello.
And your co-host here, Calvin Glenn Alexander, of course. Trey, yesterday, we covered the spread. We won. I mean, you can tell we won here. It's right here. We won. We covered the spread. We beat the spread. As I'm walking down the stadium with my dad, and my dad and I have to split a couple people in the crowds. We're having a conversation. I go, hey, at least we beat the spread. And a guy looked at me and goes, I guess. And I was like, I'm glad you're part of the conversation, but I'm also glad you agree. We beat the spread.
It's progress. It's progress.
It's progress. We're getting better. Also, can't forget to mention here, we are a part of the College Huddle Network as well, too. So hence I'm going to get my hands right here at one point. There we go.
There you go. Perfect. Beautiful.
But from watching it, at home, you got the newborn on the way, so you're not able to make it to every OSU event as someone who does not have a newborn on the way could. What'd you think of the game yesterday watching on TV?
Oh, it was so frustrating. It was a good frustration, if that makes sense. It was the first time that we were actually really competitive in a game. It just sucks whenever we get just so close that we would either turn the ball over in some way, shape, or form. I know, doing a flea flicker is not the best move ever, but it was at least different, entertaining. I wish there wasn't as many interceptions, but I feel like anytime that we had any good momentum on offense, it would always be an interception. Our defense did really well, for the most part, for most of the game. It eventually broke, which we knew it was bound to happen, but they did really well. They held Kansas. I believe it was 7-6 for the most part, and then it was finally towards the end whenever they finally scored that second touchdown. But for the most part, it was looking really good. We were shutting down the run. It looked better. Let's just say we progressed. This was a lot better game and to watch than the Tulsa game per se. It was at least more manageable, and obviously I still have to reset my expectations because I still want to be so great, but it was great to actually finally see some progress in the right direction for once.
Yeah, our defense looked good. I mean, we finally played a Big 12 team that was under 500 coming into the game. Now they're 500. K-State's now got 5 wins on the season. Shouts out to them. Their players seem extremely excited when they beat us. Again, you know what? You have one in Stillwater in years, you're going to be excited. And that, yeah, there's some stuff when I hear records of K-State fans going, yeah, we had one in Stillwater in 20 years or something. Yeah. Oh, I think I was on a K-State podcast beforehand, and they're all going, it's a trap. It's a trap. You got Admiral Akbar there replying back, it's a trap. No way, because they just didn't believe they would win, even though
we're not doing well.
1-18. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And 1-9.
It was closer than they probably wanted it to be, that's for sure.
Without a doubt. I mean, it was 19.5, I think, kickoff point spread, so we beat the spread. But this is what I'll remember. This was the Parker Robertson game. He has an interception. He has 5 solo tackles. A lot of those tackles to me were just saving the game, keeping it close, keeping us in it. I mean, we were able to go down with the final drive. A final drive to possibly tie the game. How many weeks has it been, since then? Now, final drive to tie the game, to take it to overtime. That I don't love. There's also a trick play on a third down. I believe it was a third down. Yeah. That if we had just not ran the trick play and just gone out of bounds, could get the field goal, then it would have been 9-14. If we had made another field goal right before half, it would have been, 12-14. I'm not saying any of this would have changed a whole different deal. What is good news, like you said, making progress. We basically every single stat except for the turnover battle, we won.
Yeah.
And that's for how long have we been able to say that? We had the time of possession. We had the lower amount of the penalty yards. We had more rushing yards by 40. We had more passing yards by almost 50 yards more passing. I mean, it was 373 yards to 284 yards.
Yep.
Now the other thing is, K-State was 4-15 on third down. A lot of these things, being there in person, it doesn't feel like it. It's like, man, they got every third down attempt they wanted.
Yeah.
They're able to do it. Just because, honestly, this is one of those where, wow, Avery Johnson was 15 of 28. Felt like he was worse than that, honestly. But it just felt like they were able to make plays when they needed, and it just wasn't. We were able just to not do anything. And it's true. At the end of the day, the turnover battle was 5-1. I mean,
5-1. That's what killed us for sure. I mean, we had everything else, I feel like, besides the going for it on fourth downs. But yes.
And we went for it on 1 4th down, didn't make it. They went for it on 2 4th downs and made it. Like, that should not be the whole game.
No.
But it definitely
definitely
was. Oh, for sure. And so far this season, we've already played the best team in the Big 12 in Texas Tech. And I mean, they're 10-1. Some BYU's 9-1. So we're really, barely there. But Utah, we haven't played them either. But then Houston, Arizona State, Cincinnati, Arizona, Kansas State. We've still got to play Iowa State, who's right now 3-4 in conference, 6-4 overall. We fortunately get to pass by TCU, but we played Baylor, we played Kansas. We get to play UCF, who's 1-6 in the conference and 4-6 overall, and that's our next game. And we're already 15-point underdogs. So
I feel a lot better now with the UCF game. I know we probably won't win it, but I do feel better because at least our defense showed up for the most part. Yes, I know we probably won't compete, maybe. I mean, they do have a little bit better of an offense than we do. The UCF, that is.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 1 win on the season. They have 1 win in the Big 12.
True.
They beat Jacksonville State, North Carolina, A&M, or Agriculture, A&T. Not familiar with that, clearly. Then they also beat North Carolina and West Virginia. Granted, all of their wins come at home. Our 1 win comes at home, and we got to go there. So, looking ahead to this game is possibly a preview. At least it's at 3, and hopefully it's not raining a bunch. I don't know. That's kind of my, so far on the season, passing yards. Zane's got 500 yards less passing than their quarterback, Jackson. I mean, Zane's stats here are 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about it, and you're like, all right, well, how's he going to do against Taven Jackson? He's got 6 TDs and 6 interceptions. Yeah, so
pretty even battle, that's for sure. It's only 500 yards of passing difference, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rodney Fields is comparative amount of rushing yards. Our leading receivers, comparative amount of receiving yards. Granted, it's all within 50. They're beating us by about 50 yards. But, there's a lot more things you could want out of the game, no matter what. You could want us to play better, look better, all type of stuff. The matchup predictor on ESPN has it UCF 90%, Oklahoma State 10%.
Oof.
So and I'm rounding. That's why I said both. So would you fly out to UCF if I told you we were going to win this game for sure?
It would have been
$8 a ticket. $8 a ticket to get in.
It would be very entertaining. That would be for sure. I don't know if it would be a good entertainment. It's whenever you're watching two of the worst teams battling it out type of thing. I have a feeling it's more like that. Who can make the least amount of mistakes? Granted, that's I feel like in general, but in this one, I just definitely feel like I don't feel like it's a guaranteed whatsoever, and I would happily take my ticket somewhere else.
Yeah, I think the $8 could be spent a little bit better. Now, if I know we're going to win, yeah, I'll fly out. But if it's, hey, you got to pay all the stuff, and it'll be close, I'm not really just going. It's tough here. Which UCF team are we going to face?
Right.
We're going to face the UCF team that played Baylor and scored 3 points, or the UCF team that played West Virginia and scored 45. Or we're going to play the UCF team that played Cincinnati and lost 20-11, when we scored 17 on Cincinnati. So there's some comparative stuff here. There's some competitive information. There's all that fun. But like at the end of the day, how much longer are we going to be like this? How much longer before we, talk about an ex-head coach and we're just kind of going, all right, what, like, hey, it's basketball at the end, 7 games today. Shout out. They won. Woo! But all right, both women's and men's are combined 9-0 when the season started out.
One's in the top 25, right? I believe the women are in the top 25 last time I checked.
Close. And maybe they just made it, yeah. But I know they were petitioning here, at least this last week. The women's team, oh my gosh, they can just shoot the 3 ball. But we'll get into that in a minute. Kind of wrapping up on football. If I'm telling you, hey, you got to lose these next 2 games to get your favorite head coach in the door of all the pickings, who is that head coach? Who is leading it for you right now? Who are you like? I want that. The guy. We're in week almost. Like week 30 of the season, when it's
3,000.
That was game 10. So game 11, going into game 11, who do you want as head coach for Oklahoma State football?
I mean, I'm still big. The A&M guy,
Colin Klein.
Yeah, Colin Klein. He's still what I kind of not dream about, but at least like I know he had probably a hell of a game to come back to this weekend. So I'm sure he's got a lot more going on because his first half was not looking great, but the second half saved him, and they did come back with that 30-point game. So I still like them because I still like their offense overall, or at least his offensive mind. That would be probably my best lead. I'm still hopeful. I don't think this would happen. Zach Robinson, I know it's not like our favorite, but like at least
I'm going to say we're losing the next 2 games. We're going to have a losing season. We're going to win 1 game. But your reward is you get the head coach you want in the door. Who's that head coach? Just Colin Klein?
Yeah, Colin Klein, probably. Make my life easier.
Why easier? Just because that's the name?
Well, that, and then also he knows the portal. That's the biggest part, is he knows the portal. I know he probably doesn't know the portal perfectly for both offense, defense, and special teams, but at least he knows it for offense, and that's the part that we've been struggling the most this year, and especially with this Kansas State game, that like truly showed like how much we're struggling offensively. Like we're almost there. We just need like a few more key players, and I feel like boom, offense is back on the board for us.
It's right to say there's another name floating around right now. Reporter from the Pistols Firing guys, Carson Colby, Pistols Firing podcast, and that is Kane Womack, who has won in Stillwater and Mobicket Stadium as a head coach for University of South Alabama. He's the defense coordinator now for University of Alabama. He played at University of Arkansas and University of Southern Miss. What are your thoughts on the Alabama defense coordinator becoming Oklahoma State's head coach?
I mean, it would be different, that's for sure, because usually if you think about Oklahoma State, we're usually offensive. I know lately, like the last couple of years, we've been pretty defensive minded because offense has just disappeared. But if you're thinking about like at least the last 20 years, it's always been an offensive driven type of, if you thought about Oklahoma State. So it's definitely a big mind shift on everything, that's for sure, because at least that's going to be a brand new culture for us, is more of a defensive mind, which, I mean, granted, we've had some great defenses here and there, but usually whenever you think about us, it's always been like the Hail Mary or throwing up a lot of points on the board and that type of stuff. So it would be different, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't
hate it,
guys.
I don't hate it though.
Yeah, I really would love to see more on the offensive side of it, because I think you can always score points. Nick Saban's been on this of, hey, defense is no longer just the whole thing. Like defense wins championships, it's a great thing to say, but with the portal, with getting quarterbacks in the door, with everything revolving, yeah, you can get in a great defense, but you know what? We saw yesterday firsthand. we had a great defense. They held K-State to 14 points.
Right.
I don't know when the last time that any team was held to that few amount of points in the Big 12 over consecutive weeks. Now, I'm sure it's happened, but my point is...
It's rare.
It's rare for K-State. K-State has scored more than 14 points, I think, in every game this season so far. So, it's just bizarre. I can see it. I can go, you know what? Kane Womack, he's come up the right way. He's done everything correctly. The new Alabama football coach went outside of his Washington coaching family to fill one of the biggest roles in the new Crimson Tide staff. Like, Kane was a former assistant with Kalen DeBoer at Indiana before he took over as head coach at South Alabama. And now he's joining back with DeBoer at Alabama, and that's why he's the defensive coordinator. I mean, Womack in his 3-year run with the University of South Alabama was 22-16, 13-11 in the Sun Belt Conference. So he wasn't just absolutely dominating the conference, but was 22-16. And they had the Sun Belt West title in 2022, and the team finished 10-3. So, you know what? If I'm him, is this the job you want? I think the Oklahoma State job is incredibly desirable, but it's no longer the top one of the list because, as we've said on the last 2 podcasts, there are like 30 head coaching jobs open.
Yeah,
there are like 10 head coaching jobs open in the Big Ten and the SEC. And a lot of those are just going to be innately better because you've got more chances to make the playoffs because you're in that conference.
Yeah, bigger conference. Yeah.
I mean, this year it seems like a 1-bid league for the Big 12.
Right.
I don't know when that changes. It probably changes whenever the playoffs expand. But then all of a sudden, but it seems like they will, right? Like everyone, everyone's trending that way. So I agree. I would rather have a guy who is more offensively minded. An offensive guy, to me, brings in the recruits that are flashier, the recruits that give more of a pull. And I'd rather do that versus doing what we've got now, which is, hey, let's hold the team 14 points, they're lowest on the season, and we still turn the ball over 5 times. Now, I'm not saying that this is systematic, this would happen every week. I don't think it would. I don't think 5 interceptions, which Zane didn't throw 5 interceptions. He did not throw 3 picks. In fact, I believe one of the picks was just batted up straight in the air.
Yeah, and that was a 50-50 ball at that point.
And then I think Trent Howland threw 1 interception and Zane
correct
2. So it's
flea flicker thing.
There's better ideas. I just think this team has not been really able to get their feet under him. I wish Meacham would have a better chance to showcase his offensive play calling and his offensive roles. And maybe he also knows, like, hey, he's not coming back. And I do think Clinton Bowen, the defense coordinator, has done a really, really good job. And after yesterday, he deserves a lot of recognition for that.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of, hey, maybe he should be a defense coordinator coming back next year, or at least on the staff. I mean, he's coming over from Tulsa this year, so he's new. And like everyone in the coaching staff except for Gundy, he's new.
Yeah.
Let's kind of keep him around a little bit. Moving on though here, Lefty had a double-double in points and rebounds today for your Oklahoma State Cowboys in their win over Steve Lutz's former coaching staff and former coaching tenure at Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the N7, the blue Cowboys jerseys. Let me ask you, did you like them? Do you like the OSU jerseys?
I don't mind them. It's a nice little homage, obviously. I think other years have been better though, but it always throws me off whenever you're like watching it. You're like, that's not us. No, it is, but I liked it. Now the game overall, we are not the best first quarter team. I will say that. This has kind of been like the second to third game that I've noticed that like the first quarter we've let them be way too close, but then we blow them out in the second quarter, which is great, but it doesn't help whenever we're
second half.
Second half. Yeah, you know what I mean.
You're gonna get killed on the comments here if you don't specify. Just saying.
That's true. That's just how it always is. But at least the second half, we're a better second half team, which is nice. But it's just never good. Like the first half, we shouldn't be like this close with some of these teams. So I know we've did it with the Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and then we also had like the very first game of the season. I know it was the first game, but Oral Roberts, we were way too close, in my opinion. I know we did win by 20 against Oral Roberts, and we did win by 20 against Texas A&M, but there's still a chance that they could have, quote unquote, upset us.
Yeah. This was a close game against a one into the season. Coming into this game, excuse me. Like it was, they're 1-3.
Yeah.
4. It was pretty close to halftime. Now I will say it's very encouraging is that we're still up at half, and they were shooting like I think 10% from 3, and I believe we finished the game shooting like 18% from 3, and still put up 85 points.
True.
So love that we have a way to curb the. Now, excuse me, we finished 21% from 3 in this game. And we had more turnovers, 14. Like the stats here make it look as well. At least we're close, but not super close. I mean, we had 44 rebounds to 30, and that's kind of the game.
Yeah,
but it was there was a time and place where it was 39-37 with 19 minutes left in the second half, where it was like, oof, little close.
A little close,
a little bit, or loosen it up, vice versa, whatever you need. But yeah, we're 4-0. We beat every team. Our first 3 wins, 20, and our last one was almost by 20. So I'll take it. Love to see the win. The jerseys look great for a game or two a year. I'm not mad at them. Yep. It's interesting that they always look different. We don't have like the one OSU N7 jersey.
True.
Small, or as Justin Southpaw on Twitter put, small. But either way, love to see it. We've got a brand. We're rocking with it, and Corpus Christi not good. Would say not great. Well coached though. Well coached because they were hustling. They're getting boards. They're doing all that type of stuff.
They were pushing us at least in the first half.
Yeah, they're pushing us pretty darn good. I mean, Anthony Roy back in the lineup, getting some minutes for the first time this season. Love to see that as well too. Didn't start, but he got some minutes, got some buckets. He got
15 points.
A total of he played in 16 minutes. I mean, went 5 of 12 from the field. He put up 12 shots in 16 minutes, 0 of 4 from 3, but 5 of 6 from the line. That's what we love to see. At least you're going to find a way to get to the bucket and get some fouls if you're not going to make the shot every time. Because going 5 of 12 is pretty appalling. But when you all of a sudden you go, let's take out the threes. Okay, there were 5 of 8. Pretty incredible. Pretty great. Pretty great. So I loved it. I think that we got some guys on the team that play incredibly well.
We do have depth. I do admit that. We do have depth, at least.
Yeah, we played a total of, I think, 12 guys today? Total? I mean, our starters combined for a total of, 30 points. Mm-hmm. Not great when we put up 85, but like, we left Tirius Manzakas, number 72. What is going on with some of our numbers? We do not have... Like in high school, you can't wear a 7 as your first number on team. I mean, just a lot of the stuff you just can't do. You can't have a guy who's 19. You can't have a guy who's 15, but you can, I guess. You can't have 51. Excuse me. You can't have 15. I just it's weird seeing a bunch of the strange numbers, but like again, Christian Coleman, I think he's my favorite player. I think he's my favorite player going right now. 0-1 from 3. We got 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting. 20 minutes. He just is so long and athletic. Like he got 3 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block. Pretty great. Who was your standout performer of the game?
It's going to be kind of like a tie between. Well, I was just impressed by Anthony Roy. At least like he was only in there for 16 minutes, but he's still got 15 points, which that's really great points per minute type of thing. But Victorious, man. Miller. Yep. Yeah. Victorious. I always want to call him Victor. I don't know why, but Victorious Miller, he did really well. Just all around, just doing really well, at least as far as the starters. I know we have a bunch of bench play this time around, so that was the two that I was just really impressed by, just because he, at least Victorious, that is, was at least pretty good on his field goals, being 5 for 7. So he wasn't missing too bad compared to, I feel like, everybody else. But still, we shot 50% overall, which was better than some of the other games that we had. It just, the 3-point ball just wasn't there until later in the game. But
I mean, we're kind of killing it so far, I'd say. I mean, can you believe last year we went 17-18, went 7-13 in the Big 12, and now this year we're 4-0. We played one Power 4 team in Texas A&M that also has lost recently to UCF, so there's not a lot to hang your hat on in that one win. Yeah, but it is a good, hey, it's a good marker of, all right, we're doing okay. Where we could be a lot worse. At least we beat Texas A&M. We've won all the games so far. We should. Looking at KenPom here, adjusted defense, we're much better this year than last year. Adjusted offense, much better this year than last year. Efficient field goal percentage, better than last year. All of these stats are trending upwards. Adjusted tempo, we're 6th in the country in adjusted. That is one thing I love to see. Yeah. Because then if you have a 3-point shooting night that's not great, you can survive it. You can survive it. You can make it. You can make it out a little bit better than you would think, and kind of love to see that. And 3 points, we are holding the other teams to 26.7% 3-point defense. That is crazy good, and our 3-point percentage average is going up, and with 3-point percentage 3% better this year versus last year. On our 3-point attempt percentage. 3-point percentage itself is worse, but hopefully that improves. Hopefully. 2-point percentage is a lot better. We're now 74th in the country versus last year being 291st in the country. So,
we have come a long way for a year.
That's for going up. Yeah, we really have. All stats seem to be really trending upwards here, I'd say. I'm excited. I
will also admit that Galgaraiba is actually starting to be full it's not super full, but it's better than what it's been for the last few years, I feel like.
Oh yeah. I wonder if Alex Golish, the University of South Florida head coach, is going to come up with them with the basketball team this Wednesday to come see him play. Back at where he used to be a graduate assistant at GA back in 2008 for your Oklahoma State Cowboys. Wonder if he's going to come up to campus. But we've got Gig South Florida, then Nichols University. Both are projected wins. The Nichols University projected win is 97%. The South Florida one is 73%. And I'm getting all this from KenPom.com. So I would love to see both of those as wins, of course, because they're projected. But what do you think? Do you think will we pull it off? We're all of a sudden 6-0?
Yeah, I would hope so. I think the tougher game is going to be the South Florida game, just a little bit, because they have not lost, or they've only lost once so far, but they haven't had the strongest competitions. But that one's going to be probably our tougher one out of the two, at least in just my opinion. We're still projected to win by 68%, so at least on ESPN. So I feel comfortable, and it's another home game. I feel like the true test is going to be the Northwestern one, but that South Florida game is going to be a little tougher than I think we want it to be, or a little bit closer than what it's been so far this season. I would say probably a 10-point win overall is the South Florida game, and then I'm hoping the Nicholas one's probably going to be another 20-point plus win.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're ranked 31st, and we're going to be playing the 79th team in the country, all KenPom.com rankings here. That means we should win, but you're right. South Florida is not a bad opponent. They've lost one game so far by 4 on a neutral location against George Washington, who's the 67th team in the country, And they've really not played anyone else in the top. I mean, they haven't played anyone else in the top 140 besides then. And they're better than that. They're going to come to here to Stillwater, where now I'm seeing a ranked 55th. So who knows how all this works.
It's a lotto at this point.
Well, like KenPom.com, love it to death, but there are a lot of numbers just all of a sudden. Like you click one page, you see us at 70th. You see we'll click another page, you see Texas A&M 70th. So all that being said, I think we can play incredibly well and win these next two, and we should win these next two.
Yeah,
I would be shocked if we don't. And then you're right. We're looking at that Northwestern team here on Thanksgiving night at 9:30.
Yeah. And it's an away game.
Yeah, it's at United Center, but it's in Chicago or Northwest. It's a semi-away. You know, we later on in the season here, Saturday, December 6th, run to another semi-away game at Grand Canyon, but it's in Phoenix, at the Phoenix Suns Arena, just up the road or down the street from Grand Canyon University. So we'll see. I would love to win that one, of course, too. And we are projected to win that one. We're projected to even beat OU at home by 1 point. Granted, that one's a neutral site game because it is closer to Norman than it is to Stillwater. But OU doesn't look that bad. That would be a big test. I think the Northwestern game, the OU games are going to give us some more information as long as we win the other ones going into it.
Oh, yeah.
Today, hey, if you told me, hey, you know what, we're going to shoot 21% from three and we're going to be at 1 point, it's going to be a 2-point game, I'd go,
not good.
Really? Well, I just really hate it overall. And the fact is, then you're telling me the final score is 85-69. Perfectly good. I'm great with it. Like that is enough of a blowout win by 16 for us to feel really good about the game. We went 50% from the field shooting overall, and we went 21% from three. Like, combined it all, not too bad.
No.
Not too shabby. The one other thing, we can rebound. We have some guys who can get in there and rebound and grab some boards, which I love to see. Like Isaiah Coleman getting 7 rebounds while being, forward, guard, combo. In the pros, he would be for sure a guard. In college, he's 6'5", 200 pounds. He's getting 7 boards. What more he asked for? I mean, he did put up 10 points in 28 minutes. We'll have to see that improve a little bit. But we've got some guys, like you said, deep bench. Looks like they're playing great. And also, I don't know if you know this, somehow we also played the Thunder this last week. Also yesterday, the Thunder played the Hornets, who decided to debut candy corn jerseys. Very OSU-ish.
Yeah.
Very OSU-ish. They were yellow to orange and then back to yellow. Fading throughout there. So shout out to the Hornets for wearing some of the ugliest shirts I've ever seen against the York City Thunder. But there's not like so much more to take away from the game, but this game makes me feel great going into it.
Still feeling good. Obviously, there's still things that we could potentially work on, which I feel like is just making sure that we're coming out a little bit hotter, because we didn't come out as well as I want them to, especially whenever we're playing like Texas A&M Corpus Christi. But a win's a win. That's all that matters in the end, right?
A win is a win. I'm trying to remember here. How many guys were on our roster last year that are on our roster this year?
I'm going to say probably less than 3. 3-ish, maybe.
I legitimately don't think it's like a 1. Like, I think it's like 2 guys. I think it's legitimately, I'm going through, I think it's Robert Jennings II, who was injured going into this game. He got dinged up a little bit. I think, and then it's Vukovic.
Yep.
Our 6'11" forward from Serbia. Also, just a side note here. I don't really want to get too much into politics at all whatsoever on the podcast here, but I will say, very interesting to me that we have a guy from Israel and Iran, and they are, when you look at it, their last names are F and then G, so they're right next to each other on the roster. Now, how often is Parsa and Daniel like really mixing it up? Who knows? But Daniel Guetta is a 6'2" guard coming over from Israel, number 8. Played great today, but he had 2 points in 9 minutes, so small sample size.
Yep.
And he's played he's played two games so far this season. just interesting. Just gonna note, just interesting. Put that in your back pocket, Also, I want to say he's like, I forget exactly how old he is or what year he was born. I think he's like 22, 23. And then he came over from Israel. So we've got a guy who could be here for just a long time in Stillwater.
The Brandon Whedon of basketball.
Hey, we got the guy who went on the missionary trip for BYU. All of a sudden, why does BYU so good at basketball? Because they're like 26-year-olds playing against 18-year-olds. I mean, sometimes, especially in football, honestly. But yeah, that's kind of the more fun things here. I will be back live post game to cover the Oklahoma State versus South Florida Bulls this Wednesday night. So pay attention, be ready for that one. Trey, any other final thoughts here as we kind of wrap up this episode?
Oh, I'm just once again very happy / disappointed. I wanted to win that Kansas State game because that was like our only chance, I feel like, this year. It was just so close. We should have had it. But I am very happy with how everything is going. So maybe we have a little bit more chance. We don't know who's going to show up against that South Florida game, but also very happy with the basketball team. We're doing great there. Not too worried about that yet. We'll find out a little bit more a little bit later, but super excited for everything that's going on, at least right now. I know it was doom and gloom, I feel like, in the beginning, but at least there's you see the light.
We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the hope. Also just want to ask you here, let's say you can bring back Zane Forge. Do you want him back next year? Do you feel like we're not getting a great look at him? Because, man, I got to say, youngest brother loves the term ear hole. Like a guy just ear holed you. He just straight up just hit you right in the ear hole with the shoulder pad or whatever. Seems like that happened to Zane, like every single drop back.
Right.
I mean, he just got sacked all the time. I just feel like he's not getting a fair chance. I do feel like I'm also a big LA Chargers fan. The O-lines look very similar here.
Right.
Not sure I love that.
I part of me wants to give him another chance. A part of me wants to see what we can get to, because you never know. But it also, what is our O-line? If our O-line's staying the same, I don't know if we want to keep him the same type of thing. So there's a lot of variables. I do want to give him another shot because I feel like he hasn't had a very fair chance this year with just everything. Because, Gundy leaving, offensive line, everything under the world is going crazy. I know it's probably like a week-to-week difference. So I feel good to give him another chance. He seems mature enough to handle the pressure, but also some of the times I'm like, we could do better type of thing too.
Yeah, I think we can do better. I'm not, again, saying coming back next year. I would say yesterday what I saw was a guy who needs a little bit more time to throw the ball. Now, sometimes that's his own fault. Like, he needs more time to throw the ball, and he should just not need more time. He should be it should be a one read, zip on the ball,
drop back, pass, boom, done,
and we're good. But man, there are some times where I'm going, dude, we are not doing great here. I mean, he's got 3 touchdowns on the season.
More interceptions.
One's a rushing. Yeah, and like for a guy who's 6'3", 215, man, I would just love to see the ball not get tipped to the line of scrimmage every single time when you're 6'3". It seems like that happened way too often yesterday. When Noah Walters came in, basically it seemed like to almost hand off the ball, but then I think he kept it almost every single time and instead applied up the middle and got 6 yards. And then also yesterday in the game, when our running backs are just playing pretty good, like in the red zone, we were just going, yeah, okay, now the field's short, let's throw it. Right, really? Come on.
We're doing so well.
I mean, our rushing attempts, we had 29 rushing attempts and averaged 5.1 yards.
Should have kept it going.
I mentioned this way too late in the podcast.
Yeah.
But we really, that's a huge thing. There were some running plays that did not work out at all for us whatsoever, but a lot of them did. Rodney Fields had 14 carries for 51 yards. That is not going to win you the Heisman Trophy or give you any recognition whatsoever. But all of our running backs altogether had 147 yards rushing, including our quarterbacks. And that means It's not going to win you anything, not going to win you a trophy. But when is the last game we had that many yards rushing? And you kind of got to, I think, play the way your strengths are in the game. Zane has 233 yards passing. We had more passing yards than them. And we still didn't win. That's also just a real bummer to me.
It definitely was the turnovers, to be honest with you, because like we would get it down the field into the opponent's territory, and then we always turn it over some way, shape, or form. So we were very consistent to get it across midfield, and then I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either, honestly. One other thing I'd say is that as we go towards week 11 of the college football season and kind of wrap it up, I would love to see Alex Golish be the guy for OSU next year. That's going to put my finger down, my thumb down on. But if Eric Morris wants to kind of make his way to Stillwater from North Texas, that's the ranked team with the coach in the discussion for Oklahoma State. Like, there's not another ranked team except for Texas A&M and their offensive coordinator. There's not another ranked team with a head coach who's rumored to be leaving and could be taking an Oklahoma State job. So, Eric Morris, come to Stillwater, bring your quarterback Masterson, Hosseini, and Zane come back. It's an open competition between all three. And also, I don't know, get Noah McKinney to drop his TCU transfer commit that he made during the season. Like, the portal is closed, I guess, but not. So,
but not, yeah.
I mean, all things point to the fact that he cannot actually sign, but he has signed.
Right.
And that's what every report says. So, go figure.
Imaginary signing.
Yeah. What are we doing here? All right. Well, Trey, thanks so much again for joining me here as the fellow co-host on the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. Not already, and you want to, follow at Trey on YouTube here at Shadow Ready. Follow at the CGA Tour on all of your social media platforms. Drop a comment question for the next podcast, and we will get it to you. And the next podcast will be coming to you live Wednesday night after the Oklahoma State versus South Florida matchup, which may be a later podcast, but we'll see who's up and ready for that one. So, Trey, thanks so much again, and we'll catch you guys again soon. Peace. And somehow I'll get my eye figured out. We'll hopefully by one.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow hope helping you protect what matters most.